Hello, and welcome to day one of 31 Days of Essential Oils. My name is Tammy, and I will be leading you through all of this and looking forward to your questions and comments. Please share these videos because the fact is, I want as many people to know as much about essential oils as possible. This has been a life endeavor of mine, a life passion. And that's the reason why I'm doing this up until my birthday, which is May 8th, because I just really want to celebrate the, this aspect of my life. It's just been a phenomenal journey, and I'm really glad that you are here with me. That said, today's oil is Palmarosa. Now, why did I pick this one? Well, truthfully, I got into a conversation not too long ago regarding post-workout recovery. Actually, it was post-yoga recovery, soreness, inflammation, and so forth. And people were talking about, one person said, well, use any essential oil. Just go take a Epsom salt bath and use any essential oil. I'm like, no, we don't want to do that. Somebody else said something about orange oil because it's good for cellulite, but after she described what was going on with her, hers wasn't necessarily cellulite, but we'll talk about that more here in a minute. So that said, my suggestion was Palmarosa. Now, why, you might ask? Well, the fact is, it's a very gentle, very soothing to muscles. It's very good for stress. Um, it helps to soothe the autonomic nervous system. Like I said, primarily when you have soreness, it's nice. I mean, it's not the best when it comes to having some sort of analgesic effect, but it does really help kind of relax the body. And oftentimes, I know we think, well, yoga, I should be relaxed. And if you're just getting started and it's something you haven't done, and whether it's yoga or anything, there's going to be some tension because even though the body's tired, the muscles will get tight. And so it does help to a certain degree. Now, the fact that I'm talking about single note oils for the next month, it does not mean that I recommend just using a single oil. I do fully believe in blending them no more than 4 at a time for the synergistic value. But in this case, I think it's really important to at least begin to identify the qualities to the oils that, as I've witnessed them, and again, this isn't to go against anything or a system or a book or an internet website. It's just been my experience with oils. And I have worked with hundreds of people as individual clients. And Palmarosa has never necessarily been one of my favorites, but the fact is that they kind of grow on you after a while. I'm not a big fan of the aroma because I'm not really heavily into florals. At the same time, the therapeutic, the medicinal value that this oil has is significant. So as we talked about initially, it's really kind of nice for helping to relax muscles because it does help relax the autonomic nervous system, which is essential in all of this because acetylcholine, which is used to as an excitatory neurotransmitter / hormone, when the fight or flight system has been activated, the acetylcholine is what helps to amp up our respiration, our blood pressure, and it kind of gets us going. Okay. That said, it's no longer being used in the digestive process. So, or very little. And what I mean by that is acetylcholine is actually needed for the production of hydrochloric acid, as well as the regulation of the microflora in the gut. This is the reason why we're seeing so many people talk about probiotics. It's not that we really need to be taking probiotics. In fact, to take them actually aggravates the immune system even further, and it just leads to even more stress. And my MO through all of this is to stabilize the body and to relieve that stress at the cellular level, not aggravate the body any further. So when we use something like Palmarosa, we're soothing the autonomic nervous system, and we're actually allowing the acetylcholine to be used elsewhere, which includes the production of hydrochloric acid and the regulation of the microflora. The only time I condone the use of probiotics, truthfully, is if you're taking an antibiotic. So in this case, using it, like I said, for a post-workout recovery, it's very nice because when we're producing more hydrochloric acid, we're able to break down our macronutrients better, well, efficiently. Because at this point, when the body is chronically stressed, we're no longer breaking macronutrients down, which means they're not getting assimilated. And this is another reason why the immune system is stimulated, because we have larger particles of macronutrients, primarily sugars and proteins, floating throughout the system, so the body goes in to attack it, to get rid of it, because it cannot distinguish the difference between a large particle of protein versus a bacteria. It just knows that it doesn't belong there, and it needs to get rid of it. So now we start producing antibodies, and now you have, what do we call that? Autoimmune disorder? Leaky gut would be another example of that. So again, the use of Palmarosa supports the production of hydrochloric acid, in which case now we are breaking down those macronutrients, because now keep in mind, we've de-stressed the body at a certain level. The body is better able to break down the macronutrients, and now the proteins are more readily assimilated. Now, that said, given the fact that our epigenome has the ability to change, adapt at will, at whim, as needed, based on our lifestyle and the environment, many people are struggling with what's known as MTHFR, they call defects of the MTHFR. That's your folate cycle. I can't do anything about the sun. I keep fading in and out here. So MTHFR, it does not necessarily mean you have a defect. It just means that the epigenome has been rapidly shifting, and it could potentially have compromised your folate cycle. The folate cycle is a point in the body where the body breaks down the protein and is able to assimilate the amino acids. So Palmarosa actually helps with the folate cycle. So, and folate, as you know, is a B vitamin, but taking all the folate in the world isn't going to improve the folate cycle. We have to be able to modify, and there's constituents in Palmarosa that actually do that. So that is one of the biggest reasons why I recommended using it for post-workout recovery, is because it actually supports the body's breakdown of protein. It does have an anti-inflammatory benefit. It does support the use of acetylcholine throughout the body. That was why I suggested it. Now, the other component to that is with regards to the cellulite / crepey skin that we were talking about, that one young lady was talking about with the orange oil. Whether it is crepey skin or a cellulite, the way she's describing it is more crepey than it is cellulite. Cellulite is something that we can see no matter what position we're standing in, and she was talking about just being able to see it when she was bending over. So that says to me that the skin is kind of loose and thin. It's just how she described it. Unfortunately, she's kind of young to be experiencing this, but that said, given the level of environmental stress that we're seeing these days, there's no mistaking as to why that even happened or why that's happening. And all that is there's not enough collagen in the skin, and collagen comes from the breakdown of protein. So there you have it. So Palmarosa would be very good in the area of helping to, no pun intended, beef up the skin and helping the body actually better use collagen, and produce collagen. Then there was, if it is a cellulite issue, that is a clear indication that the hormonal system is unstable due to stress. Okay, the adipose tissue is the largest endocrine. It's the largest gland of the endocrine system. So if we're building up cellulite on our legs or wherever parts of our body, it, again, like I said, it's a sign that the body is not breaking down the fats efficiently, and which is compromising the hormonal system or causing adjustments to the hormonal system. I'm avoiding using the word imbalance because I don't believe the body's out of balance. The body's perfectly in balance. It's just in balance for the way it needs to be in this given moment. We will interpret it as out of balance if we're experiencing discomfort or some kind of illness, but it truly is in balance. The difference is actually it's unstable, and the instability can be recognized again through discomfort, disorder, disease, and so forth. So Palmarosa would be really good for that too. And how I've used them with people, is specifically for MTHFR. That is the predominant reason I've used it. It does have a very uplifting benefit, especially if somebody has approached me and they're dealing with stress and anxiety. Even when I say it's uplifting, it doesn't mean that it's excitatory. It's uplifting in the sense that it actually benefits our mood. It kind of enhances neurochemical, because keep in mind, when it's soothing the autonomic nervous system, we're more relaxed, right? We feel better. We feel more uplifted. We have the ability to think more positively. So that is another reason I've used the oil. It does have some antiviral qualities to it. I prefer to see it more as an antimicrobial, because I've even used it in a UTI blend. Again, we're also trying to help stabilize the immune system, and so that comes into play when we stabilize or soothe the autonomic nervous system. It's also very good for skincare. That's another reason I've used it. Rashes, whether it be eczema or psoriasis or dry skin. Dry skin is a really big sign. Actually, well, all of those are. Eczema, see, again, is very good for stabilizing the immune system, because eczema and psoriasis are both related to hormonal instability as well as immune instability. And so it really kind of helps in that arena, again, because it's supporting the digestive system as well as meaning through the use of protein and so forth, but it also really supports the digestive system. But it also has the components in it are very soothing to the skin. So they actually, it soothes, pardon me, skin irritation. So I've used it with psoriasis, I've used it with eczema, and I've also used it with dry skin. I'm trying to think what else I might have used it for. I've had people want to have me, and historically I've had people ask me to make them blends for as an immune, and then the reason it benefits you, it's not an immune stimulant. I need to come out and say that right now, because it stabilizes the immune system, but it's not an immune stimulant. And the way this works is that acetylcholine is, so it actually works with both levels of the immune system. There's the adaptive and there's the innate. The innate is what protects us from the viruses and the bacteria. The adaptive is which produces the antibodies. That's Mimi. It's what produces the antibodies. And so the antibodies are produced, and so it actually helps to quell that, the adaptive, primarily because it's supporting the breakdown of protein. Because it also has an antimicrobial quality, it is a nice defense against bacteria and viruses. But at the same time, the other aspect of that is the acetylcholine. That is what the essential component to this is the essential piece of information is acetylcholine, hydrochloric acid, microflora in the small intestine. And as far as the bowels are concerned, there's actually acetylcholine receptors in there that are our first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. This is exactly how the flu shot is working. It's going in because that's where immunoglobulin A is released. So this is another reason why having the digestive system fighting for us and in full function, again, that's what Palmarosa is working, because it's helping to helping the body to actually better utilize acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is a very, very important neurotransmitter and hormone. So again, when the stronger the digestive system is, and Palmarosa helps with that for all of these reasons, but more specifically because it's actually signaling to the body that it's okay. It's okay. Your life isn't being threatened. I know it. There are times when life gets intense and we do feel it, and there are moments where we do feel our life is being threatened, and there's a lot of people in dire situations. But everyday life, mental, emotional distress, the life isn't being threatened. I know if we have people calling us and confronting us, it's something we don't like. But we have to be able to tell our body that it's not being threatened. The environment is threatening our lives more than anything. And so again, the inclusion of essential oils, a blend of them that works best for you, is where you can actually message the body and say, hey, it's okay. You can, help it. You can influence a better production of chemistry to keep you protected, because the truth is these chemicals are invading us and they are wreaking havoc. And by adding oils to our everyday life and mindfully do so, really helps to offset the environmental impact. And so again, the Palmarosa is very beneficial because it helps to at least, it helps us, like I said, it's uplifting. So it actually helps us to think a little bit more clearly. We can actually become more partners with our body, and we can begin to talk ourselves down off the ledge. And trust me, I know anxiety better than anybody, probably, or as well as most people. So being able to talk ourselves off the ledge, and in the meantime, have the oil influencing a better flow of chemistry, a more stable flow of chemistry, gives us the edge we need to be protected from these harmful toxins. Okay, so I think that is all I'm going to say for today. I'm a little distracted because Nimi just went out and she's now barking at somebody. So let me know if you have any questions, if there's something I didn't cover, but please check out my website, synergessence.com, and the 31 days of essential oil tab, and check out what other things I've said about Palmarosa over there. All right, take care.